All right, everybody. Welcome on back to the Rhodes Show, Week 16, picks and preview. Guy and I had a decent week last week, both falling to 2 and 3. It's not the best week, but the guarantee was a guarantee with the LA Rams minus 6.5 covering that game. And Big Brain Benny is back in the win column for Beat the Book, and he's going to continue for the rest of the year. Guy, how was your Sunday?
Off Sunday for me, 2 and 3, lost to Beat the Book on the hook. I ended up betting them at +3 or at -3. I'm sorry, and I just pushed that game. Pushes a win, but it doesn't count on this show. No matter how much Jason Public wants it to count, it's not going to be tolerated here. I'm ready to get back here in the win column. I'm feeling a good winning week here. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal backdrop. A little bit out of my zone. Had to take a little trip. Figure things out with the book. I'm ready.
The road. We got a guy on the road here. Whoa. All right, so we'll get into our records to date. We got myself falling back to 500 at 17, 17 and 2, and Guy looking to fight back at 14, 20 and 2. Special guests yet again fall to the pressure of the Road Show. Not good showing. It's wide open. Subway Mac 1 and 6. And a famous late Beat the Book ad of the San Francisco 49ers -12 saved an 0 and 5. This week, I had to go to Guy to get our special guest. And this guy, we needed a guy to pursue perfection. And what better guy? Our favorite special guest today. I don't think there's been a better special guest that we've had on the show. Plus Money Porter.
What's up, guys? Happy to be on the show. Really big fan of the show. Big Brain Benny and Guy. Love
Appreciate
the takes every week. Love tuning into the show every Friday. I thought, Jason Public was going to give us a good showing here from guest of the Guy, but not so much. And the door's still wide open, and I'm ready to, just bust right through it. Get a nice above 500 week. Just really beat the book here.
Hey, that's all we need. We need plus 500, and you're far, far, far in the lead. So let's get into the games. We have our first game, and Guy, as always, you're going to kick us off, where we have the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. Is CJ Stroud starting? Is Case Keenum starting? Houston's laying the 2.5 at home. Over-under is 40.
Houston's being awfully sketchy about if Stroud's going to play or not. I don't think he's going to. I think they would have announced that by now, especially with their record and kind of still sitting in the playoff picture. I think we're going to get Case Keenum here, which brings up Case Keenum versus Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, get this. Joe Flacco is 98, 92, and 8 against the spread career. The guy's having a great year with the Browns. He's just keeps showing up. He keeps showing up. It's kind of the opposite of me, where I keep showing up and I somehow keep losing. Joe Flacco keeps showing up. He somehow keeps winning. He's got 7 touchdowns in the last 12 quarters. The Texans, they won in overtime against the total dead dog Jets. I mean, the Jets stink. Teams that have came off of an overtime win in the last decade, Big Brain, what do you think that record is?
This got to be a good record. In the last decade, I'm going to guess 19 and 10.
A lot more overtime games than you can remember. That's actually 63, 77, and 1 against the spread.
Damn, I'm pretty dumb. That was a dumb answer.
Yeah. I think the difference here is going to be the Browns defense. 34% third down conversions. Texans third worst in the league. Public loves Houston. Give me Cleveland -2.5.
Plus money, what do you got on this game?
This game with CJ Stroud being in doubt, it's kind of ugly. It's real ugly.
Real ugly.
And when we have real ugly games, you know what we do? We hammer the under.
I
am hammering the under 40. It opened at 42. I would have liked to get it at 42, 42.5, but I still like it at 40. Flacco's even questionable with like a calf injury or something. Case Keenum banged up Flacco, 2 solid defenses. This just screams under to me. That's what I got. We're on the under.
I like it. I'm Mr. Under on this show. I love a good under, and I love where your head is. Something about Joe Flacco. Something about Flacco this year.
There's
and the
something
Cleveland
going on
Browns.
with Joe Flacco.
Something about Flacco. But I think the Browns curse will be the Browns curse inevitably when the year. It's not going to be this week. It's not going to be next week. It'll come down. It'll come down to it. But I'm with you, plus money. I look at this game. It's ugly. This total, it opened up, like you said, at 42. It's dropping down to 40. I could see it dropping more if Case Keenum's named the starter. Now, with that being said, I'm playing a little callback to the first week of the road show. Little if, over, under, if. If CJ Stroud plays, I'm playing this over 40. If Case Keenum plays, give me this under 40. If CJ Stroud plays, I know they're going to put up at least 3 touchdowns. Joe Flacco, something about the Browns, something about Flacco. They're going to stay in the game. They're going to have to put up 20. Give me that over if CJ Stroud's playing. Give me the under if Case Keenum's playing. Guy, I'm going to ask, is that allowed?
That's allowed. Even with Stroud in this game, I still love Joe Flacco minus 2.5.
I agree with you. I agree. All right, on to the next game. Plus money, we'll let you kick us off, where we have this back to winning column Detroit Lions going against the Minnesota Vikings, who just came off a heartbreaker with Nick Mullins. Minnesota, again, another home dog at plus 3.5. Over under is at 47.
This game's another weird game, like Nick Mullins had no idea what to expect from him last week. He actually came out and played pretty well. His stat line, 26 for 33, 303 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But, he played a lot better than everybody thought he was going to play. And he's got Justin Jefferson to throw the ball. He's got Hawkinson to throw the ball, Addison to throw the ball. And also Ty Chandler, I think, is really underrated as a running back. I think Alexander Madison should never play again in his life. That dude stinks. If you drafted that guy in fantasy, I feel bad for you. He stinks. And also, just the Lions, like you said on the show before, the Lions just breed overs. So with all that being said, I'm taking the over 47. Lock it in.
Ooh, a little under-over action from Plus Money Porter. I like it. I wish the Denver Broncos were on our docket, because if you track the show, I know Denver Broncos football. I don't think there's a game that I lost for the Denver Broncos when we picked. Detroit beat the shit out of them last week. Detroit thrives. Jared Goff thrives in a dome at home. He's not at home. He's at Minnesota. He's in a dome. Jared Goff's hot. He's indoor. Give me the Detroit Lions minus 3.5. They're going to keep rolling. They're going to put their foot in the neck. They're going to bite some kneecaps. They're going to bite a Viking kneecap on Sunday, and they're going to beat the shit out of the Minnesota Vikings. Give me the Detroit Lions minus 3.5 at Minnesota.
So watching Detroit all year, Detroit does seriously put up some points. I like the over here, like Colin said. I'm trying to think, though, watching the Lions, somehow I've found myself watching the Lions a lot this year, which is something that can't be being said the past few years. I was looking up some statistics for this game, trying to find a side, find an edge. It seems like Detroit usually comes out and just lays an egg on the road, especially in their division. With the Detroit win, though, this week, they clinched their first division title since 1993. That's before I was born. 1993. I've never seen the Detroit Lions win the NFC North. Jared Goff is 32-16 against the spread indoors. Lions also, with Jared Goff as a starting quarterback, 6-2 in games after scoring 13 points or less the prior week. It's just, I don't know here. That's why Lions can put up some points. I get what Plus Money Porter's saying here with Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. I think Nick Mullins maybe a little bit of an anomaly last week, coming in off the bench, fired up, boys rallying around him. This is a tough game for me to pick, but I'm going to take Detroit minus 3.5 and double play, because my record is dog shit. Double play, I'm going to take the under 40.
Ooh,
I don't see Nick Mullins doing anything this week.
I don't disagree with the under. I kind of like that sneaky play, because this year has been the year of the backup quarterback, but I think Nick Mullins, like you said, the magic was last week. The Minnesota Vikings aren't – the Cleveland Browns are the backup quarterback team. Minnesota Vikings have dealt with the same thing. They're not going to have the magic. Detroit in a rout. This total is going to be close. This 47 is an interesting number. It's going to be down to the wire.
Yeah, it's an ugly number.
But I like Detroit easily on Sunday. All right, let's get to the Fraud Bowl, where we have the Dallas Fraud Boys at +1.5 going to Miami and playing the Fraud Fins. The over-under is 50. I'll start us off here. This game is tough because Dallas coming off an embarrassing loss in Buffalo after winning their Super Bowl of the regular season in the Eagles and exposing them. Miami 2 weeks ago got embarrassed at home against the Titans and then proceeded to shut out the Jets. I think that Titans loss was the turning point in the Dolphins season. I think they needed to lose against the sub 500 team. That's all they did was beat them and lose against good teams. I think that was a turn, woke them up. It said, hey, we're not invincible to the shit teams of the league. I love the Dolphins. This may be a little bit of a bias pick. This may be because I have a large ticket on them to go to the Super Bowl. Give me the Miami Dolphins -1.5. They fight right back in it for the 1 seed. Fins up all day. Miami Dolphins at home. I hope it's a hot, muggy day in Miami. Give me the Dolphins -1.5.
Fraud Bowl is a great way to put it here. Not only is these two teams fraudulent, two absolutely fraudulent divisions as well. Looking into this game, the Dolphins have not beat a team with a winning record since week 3 of last year when they beat the Buffalo Bills. That is a horrible stat.
That's a bad stat.
Terrible stat. Dak Prescott is 6-13 on the road against teams above 500. This is just a tough game to pick. I thought the next game's tough. This is even a tougher game. I really have no feel on this game. I hate the over-under here. Could see it going over. Could see it going under. I'm just going to ride with my Cowboys money line +100. Just going to take the value here.
I like it. I don't hate it.
I can see either team winning this game. I don't think this game determines the season for any of these teams because I just think they both are total frauds.
You know, I'd have to definitely agree with everything you guys saying. That this game could definitely go either way. I mean, watching the Dallas Buffalo game last week, the Dallas offense hurt my eyes. I mean, that their offense was
looked like the Steelers.
They were bad.
Mitch Trubisky could have done better than Dak there. Let's not go that far. Okay. Anyway, I just Dallas coming off that tough loss, Miami coming off, okay, they beat the Jets, but they smoked them, and they didn't have Tyreek Hill either. So I mean that's the one thing I think that's turning this pick for me is, Miami coming off a win, getting Tyreek back, Dallas coming off a loss, playing on the road again. I think I have to go Miami -1.5 here. I think I do. But I think it's going to be tight. It's ugly, but, Miami -1.5, let's ride.
I like it. Fins up all day against the Cowboys. Again, this is a fraud bowl. The ticket I got, it's hopeful, but Dolphins are frauds. It is what it is. I'm riding. Bean, I love you. Fins up. All right, on to the next game. Guy, kick us off. We have a Christmas night special. Wow, oh wow, did the NFL do us right with this game where we have the 2 number 1 seeds in both of their conferences, the Baltimore Ravens at +5 going to San Francisco 49ers. Over-under is 47.
I mean, what a setup here by the league. Roger Goodell. Great job.
Does it again.
Guy, but I will say,
does it again.
It's a great matchup. I got a couple things to say about this game, but just to get into the Christmas spirit here, Santa Claus is going to be coming to San Francisco on Christmas night, and he wears number 8. I'm going to take Baltimore +5 here. Baltimore is 19-5 against the spread as an underdog since 2018. Lamar 11-2 against the spread as a dog. Maybe a look ahead spot here for San Fran. San Fran can lose this game, and it's not really a big deal. I think the Ravens are just the best team, the cream of the crop of the AFC. They're coming in. They got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. That's what I think I like about Baltimore this year. They're very good. I think they are the best team in the AFC, but they play football like they got a chip on their shoulder. I love Lamar 11-2 against the spread. Santa Claus coming to town wearing number 8.
Plus money, what do you got?
That's not what I expected coming from a Steelers fan, but the Ravens are kind of funky with me because, the last couple of weeks, their defense, has not looked, as good as, they are ranked. They're ranked in the top 5 in both categories, but, they just gave up 410 yards to the Rams. The Jags were moving the ball all over the field the first half. They just couldn't, score any points. They're missing field goals, turning the ball over. So I think that game last week should have been a lot closer for Baltimore. And San Francisco offense, so many weapons. Like, take your pick. I don't think they can cover them all. I think San Francisco's defense is slightly better. And also, I think since Baltimore losing Keaton Mitchell was huge for them, I think. I mean, that guy was averaging 8.4 yards a carry. And for a team that prides themselves on running the ball and it's such a big part of their offense, I think he's going to be a huge loss for them. At 8.4 yards a carry, that's an insane number.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think I got to take San Francisco -5 here. I don't like it, but I think it's the right side. I'm just hoping for the best here.
Let me ask you something.
Public Porter.
What do you think Lamar Jackson's record against the NFC is in his career? Take a stab. He's played 22 games against the NFC in his career. Take a stab at it.
11-11.
13-9.
He is 19-3 against the NFC in his career. Give me Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens money line at San Francisco. Lamar Jackson, all he does is beat NFC teams because they're not used to playing Lamar. You may say, oh, San Francisco, they played Jalen Hurts, another quarterback kind of like Lamar. No one is like Lamarvelous Jackson. Like Guy said, Santa Claus is coming to town, and he's coming away with a W. First ever money line play from Big Brain. Give me the Baltimore Ravens money line in San Francisco on Christmas night.
I feel like the public is on Baltimore +5. Is that not correct?
I can check.
Because you look at +5 and see the Ravens, you're like, wow, I got to take that.
I agree. Under a touchdown, you're like, You're like,
it's
why
pretty
is
even. San Francisco, 59% of the bets.
I even love my money line bet even more. All right, time for the best part of the show. Time to beat the shit out of the book. We got our best plays of the day. Even though I love the Ravens money line, I love this play even more. But I'm a man of honor. Special guest plus money Porter. Kick us off with the beat the book play of the day.
Oh, I got a good one for you, Big Brain.
Oh, yes.
Love this one. You're going to absolutely love it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off here. I'm taking the Rams -4 here against the Saints. It's a Thursday night game. It might be a little weird because it's Thursday night, but the Saints absolutely stink. Derek Carr stinks. He's getting in fights with his linemen. They don't want to block for him. The team doesn't even want to play for that guy. The guy seems like a total loser. And the Rams are rolling 4 out of the last 5, playing at home. Cooper Kupp looks, back to form. Puka Nacua, always open. Kyron Williams running the rock. Stafford playing well at 50 years old. I got to take the Rams -4. I think that number is way too low to pass up. Rams at home, -4. Saints are frauds. Lock it in.
I love the anti-Saint slander again, but I'm gonna be frank here. The show releases on Friday, so I think they'll miss out on the Rams -4 play. I'll release this out early to the public because I love it, and I'll release this out. But we need if you have a Sunday beat the book play of the day, we'd love that for the show as well.
You got to come back to me on this one.
All right, we'll come back. I'll
trusting.
start us off here. I got a few stats. Indianapolis Colts 10-4 now. Their overs yet again hit their over. They've now hit the over in 4 straight games. They've hit the over. The over is 7-1 when they play in a dome. They're averaging over 27 points per game when playing in a dome. The team they're playing, the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons just looked like the worst team in the NFL, losing to the worst team in the NFL. They couldn't have looked worse. That's why this over is so hitting. 44.5. This game is just going to be in the top left or right corner of your quad box. And it's just going to be, all of a sudden, it's going to be 31-31 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And you're going to be like, what the hell happened in this game? This over's hitting. It's juicy. I love it. 44.5 Colts Falcons.
Great pick, Big Brain. And that also ties into my beat the book play. Whenever I asked before we started filming, folks, we chatted a little bit before this one. I said, my beat the book play is so obvious that I almost want to say it because there's no way that somebody else had the same play as me. Or I'm sorry. I mean, there was no way that somebody didn't have the same play as me. Indianapolis going to Atlanta. I looked at Atlanta's record, 6-8. How in the hell did they win 6 games? I mean, they are
I don't know.
Brutal. I'm not on the over or under here. I'm not on the number this game. Small road dogs is teams that open up as a dog of 7 points or less. 7 points or less. It's going to continue here, Big Brain. Who have won 5 games or less the previous year. This little Marky stats.
Yeah, what the hell?
Are 359 and 255
What
against
the hell?
in the last 20 years. Give me the Indianapolis Colts +1. We got almost a double beat the book little side here. Total. Give me Indianapolis +1 as my beat the book. I think Shane Steichen has really found a good groove with Gardner Minshew back there. I don't know. I don't think the Colts are all that bad. Granted, I think the Steelers stink, but they beat the crap out of them. So,
yep.
I mean, I think Indianapolis is going to make some noise here, getting the wild card. They'll lose, but, Indianapolis versus Cleveland will be a terrible playoff game to watch.
Yeah.
Plus money, Porter, what do you got for us?
All right, we're going to circle back around for a Sunday game here, folks. Looking at the board here, I do really like both your picks here. I think the Falcons are really bad. I think Art Smith's really bad. Love those picks. I have to go to a different game here. I'm going to have to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just watched Baker Mayfield walk into Lambeau Field and hang 1 billion points on my Packers. 1 billion points. So I don't see any way that the Jags, who are reeling, stay in this game, win this game. It's only a -1 spread. I think the Bucs win handily. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White, Baker, pretty good defense. Jags reeling. Bucs -1.
I love it.
Almost my beat the book play, Porter, as well. Tampa Bay, they look decent.
Battle of Florida. And I'd much rather see Tampa Bay win the NFC South than any other team. That's 100% a fact. But the beat the book parlay, it's at +551. If you same game parlay, the over 44.5, the Colts +1, and the Tampa Bay Bucks -1. You put 25 on it, you win 162. So that's a good little odds there. It's going to hit this week. I love all our plays. I'm going to release the plus money Porter Rams -4. I'm going to release that early so that people can get on that. As always, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's win some money. Going to go 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Take it easy. Stay deggish. Let's win some money.